in studio. Welcome.
Good morning, Randy. How you doing?
Well, I'm doing awesome. First part of the year, first part of the month. We're ready to rock and roll.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit. What's been happening down there at the shop? And
It's the first part of the year, tax time. It's a little slow right now, but it's starting to pick up. Getting calls for harvesting animals for people, even just aging them for people in our cooler. But other than that, we're just plugging away.
so when you harvest a animal, they bring you down live, I assume.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, correct.
So
Yeah.
you do the whole everything.
Yeah, they'll bring it down. We have holding pens, and we have our harvesting area. They'll bring it down live, and we'll take it from there and do whatever they want.
And what's your top animal right now that you're harvesting at the beginning of the year?
Beef.
Beef.
Yeah, beef is actually pretty steady year round.
Okay.
We have a hog farm. Oddly enough, I harvest more beef and process more beef than anything else.
And so there's really no season for that, is for like you say, the beef. But is there a certain type of beef? Because obviously there's different types of breeds. So
Not so much. You see mostly Angus, I guess. A lot of crosses. But it just really comes down to what the customer has. Maybe they couldn't afford to buy top quality animal at the time, and so they raised one that cost them a little less. But it doesn't really matter what animal it is, as long as you feed it right and finish it out, you're probably going to be pretty happy with it.
Because you're not only just doing business, you're doing just individual. Somebody could just bring you one, or you have a business that they're harvesting. They want you to harvest 5, 10.
So the way it works is, like with Cami, their business, they sell their cattle and then they bring them to me to harvest for their customers. Right. Currently, we can only harvest and process for individuals. We can't do anything for resale because it's a state license. We're not USDA yet.
Okay.
So everything that we package is labeled not for sale. But any individual wants to bring us anything, we're more than happy to take care of it.
Gotcha. So you have a lot of those clients that keeps you pretty dang busy.
Oh, absolutely. I would say 90% of my clientele is word of mouth or return.
Awesome. Well, that's the best way.
Yeah.
So people see you here, they like you, they know you, and they want to do business with you.
Right. I think I'm pretty likable.
I think so too, right? So tell me, so we're February, beginning of February. We're still 6 more weeks of winter,
right?
But what happens? How does the year plan out for Rancho Sestero?
So it's February. Like I said, it's our slow time. So I'm offering a 5 days free aging and 10% off of any butchering for the month of February.
Okay, that's awesome.
Just to try to help drum up some business and try to save people a little bit of money, because it's that time of year. And then, we're starting to gear up and prep for fair time.
Oh, okay. And you sell the piglets to the kids and the 4-H and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, we do. I actually just sold one the other day for a fair up in Northern California. And then we're also trying to gear up for processing for the fairs. So Santa Barbara County Fair has already contacted me, and they're looking at like 100 hogs for me to process for that fair.
Oh my gosh.
Mid-State has contacted me as well, and we don't have any set numbers yet with them, but I told them I'd take 40 steers and 30 hogs if they needed somebody to do them.
Wow. So 100 hogs coming in to your property comes in on a livestock trailer, right?
No, actually, the way they do it with the fairs, they'll take them up to Yosemite Meats. They'll get harvested up there, and then they'll bring me the carcasses.
Okay. So you just have a freezer truck show up at your place.
Correct. Yeah.
With the carcasses, and then you cut out the different cuts and how.
Yeah, we put them in our cooler.
Okay.
And gearing up, trying to set up a second crew. So if anybody out there knows what they're doing with a knife and would like a job for a couple months, I'm looking to put together a second crew.
Hey, there you go. A little apprentice program, maybe.
Yes, absolutely.
That'd be awesome.
Yep.
Wow, that would be really interesting to learn how to do.
Yeah.
Because there's different types of meats within a piece of meat, right?
Like absolutely.
Like if you go get a sirloin or something, there's other parts to that you cut this, cut that out, and all of a sudden you have something different that you would buy.
Yeah, there's a sirloin tip and then there's a top sirloin. It's two different meat. The sirloin tip comes off the front of the hind quarter, and then your top sirloin's right there.
Interesting.
So you can get a roast, you can get steaks, however you want to do it.
So when they drop those carcasses to you, are they taking like all those 100 carcasses? Are those coming to you at one time?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. And so how long does it take you to go through those?
So if we're moving in a good clip and we can keep pace, with the crew I have right now, we can do 6 or 7 a day. The reason I want a second crew is I need to get 10 a day. I need to knock out all 100 hogs in about 10 to 12 days.
Wow. And that's moving, huh?
Yeah, that's moving.
And that's taking up space because you want those things in and out.
Correct. Yeah, I want to in and out because right behind that is the Mid-State Fair animals. So whatever I got coming from there, I want to make sure I have enough space for.
And are they all getting cut the same way, or is it like looking at a purchase order and say, oh, this one we want to cut out this, that, or whatever?
So to set myself apart from other butchers, I give people that option. I don't say, here's your fair cut list, this is your only option. They'll, once I get the list of everybody that I do that animals are coming to me, once I receive them and verify that I have it, they'll get an email and a phone call. The email will be a contract and then a cut sheet for them to fill out.
Interesting. And then what is there leftover parts, or what is?
Typically, no.
Typically, you use every piece of that carcass.
Most everybody does, yeah.
Okay. And so, and then after that, then you call them up and they come there, or does it ship out the same way that it came into you and somebody else distribute it?
No, I'll call them and they'll come and pick it up. This year, due to the amount of animals that I'm scheduled to get, I think I'm going to offer a complimentary delivery to the people. Because, depending on where they're at, it's hard for them to get there to pick it up in a timely manner. And I want to avoid charging any storage fees.
Right. Or, you want to get them out anyways.
Correct. Yeah. And so if I can go the extra mile and just, provide a delivery,
well, that's awesome.
It'll help things on both sides.
Right on. So Santa Barbara fairs, and then right after that is the Mid-State, Mid-State Fair.
Yep.
And we're looking at probably more beef at the Mid-State Fair than
typically, yeah.
Santa Barbara?
Yeah. Normally I get more beef. They did ask me if I would take hogs this year also. So I just kind of gave them what I feel I can handle.
Right.
And then we'll go from there.
So for somebody that is traditionally, supermarket buying their meats and stuff like that, what would you say is the biggest misunderstanding from a supermarket tri-tip or, rack and ribs, whatever, versus going through, a butcher and buying it and going from like what you're doing is something local?
The freshness, honestly. I mean, fresh is best.
Right.
It goes from harvesting to your plate in like no time, actually, depending on how you do it. If I don't know if you've ever bought meat at the grocery store, it looks really good, but then it's kind of tough,
We all have, I think.
Right. And but you don't know how long you don't know when it was harvested. You don't know how long or what it was fed.
Right.
Or how long it's been in a freezer prior to it getting to the grocery store.
Or where it came from. Even.
Correct. Yeah.
So it could be out of the country. It could be in China. It could be in.
Yeah. I mean, unless you're getting one that says Harris Ranch, you kind of don't know where it comes from.
And there's, in my opinion, there's a different taste, from a, locally raised steer meat
Yeah.
versus something that you just go buy in the supermarket.
Oh, absolutely.
So, and you can really taste the difference.
Yeah, you can.
So, and like what you're talking about, tough versus, that cut of meat that's super, that just watering, tasty, has that great marble in there,
Oh,
but
yeah.
not over the top. And that's all about how the beef or the animals are brought up in the pastures.
Oh, yeah. It's about how they're raised, how they're fed, how they're finished, and then it goes back to personal preference. Do you like grain finished or grass fed? The fat content on grain finished is going to be more so than on a grass fed. So you'll get a lot more marbling with the grain finished than you will a grass fed.
Oh, no kidding.
Mm-hmm.
And then do you think you can taste the difference between the two?
It all comes down to personal preference. You could ask one person one thing, they'll say, "Oh yeah, I can taste the difference," and another person will tell you the exact opposite. So I think it just comes down to your palate.
Yeah. Now, Clint, are you a big barbecuer?
I am.
You probably have an awesome grill at your place, huh?
That's not bad.
And do you like the smoking, the barbecuing, all of it?
I just like the barbecue. There's nothing like throwing some meat on the grill and having a nice cocktail and just enjoying the afternoon.
You're singing to me right now. You're singing. So let's go into something else. So you have something new that you just started with your YouTube channel, right?
Yeah, correct.
So tell me about that.
So I watch a lot of YouTube content with other butchers, and everybody does how-to videos and whatnot. And I thought, well, why not? Give it a shot. So we started a YouTube channel, Rancho Sestero Meat Cutting. And last week we posted our first how-to video on how to break down a 4-quarter. And I do my best to verbally explain what I'm doing and how I'm doing it throughout the videos. And every week we'll be posting a new video on the channel, how to do something. And it's educational. Maybe a person wants to try it themselves, and hopefully I can give them a little bit of knowledge to be able to do it themselves.
So you're basically dissecting how to cut into the harvest, animal into different, the tenderloins, whatever you're doing.
Yeah, I try to explain to the best of my ability as far as what cuts of meat come from where and how to get it. It's just try to be educational and maybe teach somebody something they wanted to learn.
That's awesome. And so that's YouTube / Rancho Sestero Meat Cutting.
Yes.
On YouTube.
Yes.
Awesome. And so you'll have your videos posted there that somebody can go watch. Cutting. What'd you say?
The first video is of a 4-quarter, so it's how to where to cut it between the 5th and 6th rib, how to break it, and then what you get actually out of that 4-quarter, like the shanks, the brisket.
Oh, okay.
The
Gotcha.
Arm roast, your chuck roast, that all comes out of your 4-quarter.
So you're basically making like little shorts of like little. I mean, because obviously when you say a carcass, I mean there's a lot more pieces to that. So
Right.
You're just focusing on one particular area of a cut.
Yeah.
Cutting that out and walking through it.
Yep.
Oh, so that's super awesome. That's really smart. And so then therefore you're giving the viewers a little bit of a knowledge of understanding, what really happens and what happens, behind the scenes before they get their package.
Right. And then also kind of shows them where their meat comes from. It's not like walking up to a case in a grocery store and here's a piece of meat. Well, now you get to actually physically see where it comes from.
Oh, wow. That's really awesome. So again, YouTube channel just started last week.
Yep.
Rancho Sestero Meat Cutting.
Yep.
And you can learn all about, you will be learning all about the different cuts from steers to hogs to sheep to, goats.
Yeah. Anything I do, we'll be trying to do segments on it and just broaden people's horizons a little.
What's the number one cut that people always ask you that they want?
Honestly, 90% of the time it's ribeyes, and you get people that want 2-inch ribeyes, 1.25-inch ribeyes, but everybody really, that's one of the big ones.
One of the big ones.
Yep. Well, and tri-tip, but everybody's like, well, how come I only get 2? Well, unfortunately, there's only 2 tri-tip on a cow.
and people misunderstand that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So maybe one day we're gonna drill down on the whole tri-tip, because that's one of those questions. It's like, we know about it here, but you go in other places, nobody knows about tri-tip.
It's becoming it's more popular other places. I think a lot of it has to do with the mass exodus out of California. People are taking it elsewhere now.
So back east, you could have bought a tri-tip at 99 cents a pound, and now the Californians are moving out,
right?
And now it's going up.
Yeah.
Huh. Awesome. Yeah. Well, Clint, thanks again for coming on the
show.
Absolutely,
Randy.
We really appreciate your support also with What's Up North County, and I'm really intrigued about your YouTube channel.
Yeah. So maybe one of these days I can get you guys down there to check out the shop.
Absolutely. I'm in. I want that apprentice program, getting somebody in there to learn and help you with the harvesting.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
I think that should be on your YouTube channel.
Yep.
Reaching out and getting a butcher to take over Rancho Sestero meat cutting. Win Rancho Sestero meat cutting. No, you can't do that.
No.
You can't win it.
No, can't win it.
you just started it.
Yep.
Awesome. Clint, thanks again. I really appreciate it.
You bet.
Well, there you have it, guys. As always, we can't do these interviews without our sponsors, and we always like to show them some love. We have Escalar Wines, Wine Travelers Hideaway, Rancho Sestero Meat Cutting, which is in studio today. We got Pillar Real Estate, 805 Customs, Airflow Filter Service, and Amy and Jamie's Place in Templeton. Thanks again, guys. We'll see you next time.